ladies, it's Melissa here, and I'm back again with my third project for SpeigelMom Scraps. As you can hear in my voice, I'm still sick, but I wasn't going to film a process video for this layout, but then I decided that I probably should, because I do love making them, and I think that by sharing this on my YouTube channel, I'll get other viewers that wouldn't necessarily see it if it was just on the blog or on my Instagram. So what I've done, and please excuse my voice, it's horrible, is I have splattered my background with gold, pink and rose Heidi Swapp colour shine. In fact, hot pink is the darker pink one. Excuse me. And this is a cut file from SpeigelMom Scraps. If you go onto the website, and I'll put a link below, you can find lots of free cut files. And so I wanted to make sure I definitely used one of hers. I have this really sweet photo of Ava in the Moses basket. I think she would have been probably still a newborn, maybe 5 weeks old. I'll have to have a look. But I love using things like stars for a baby layout. And so what I've pulled is this Hello Colourful You, which I know I've used before, but I think it's the best one that goes with this. I also thought about maybe Sparkle Ever After and In the New Year, but I think this might be too bold with the black and white. So we'll see how we get on. My original plan had been to stitch the sequins on, but with not feeling well, I just haven't had enough time to do it. So I might save that for next week. But I like the look of white on white. Quite subtle for a baby layout. But what I have is Cute Girl from Crepe Paper. I absolutely love this, and it must be a couple of years old now, but I want to use it for this layout because it is so sweet. And I didn't get all of it, I just got some of it, so excuse me, I'm really sorry. But there's nothing I can do, and I've got to get this done. So, I mean, I have some things left over, ephemera pieces, these, yeah, so I'm going to see what I can do. I actually love that Hello Girl, so we should try and make an effort to use that. Yeah, I'm going to make a start and incorporate the sequins, and yeah, just watch my process. So I just wanted to apologise for all the crinkling of the packaging as well. I know some people don't like that, but I record on my iPhone and it picks up everything. So here, it's a few days later now that I'm, a couple of days later that I'm editing and doing this voiceover, so I'm actually feeling a lot better. So what I did is just went through the papers, and I absolutely love this floral. I am always a sucker for a beautiful floral, so I wanted to mat my photo, but I didn't want to I wanted a big enough mat that I could see some of the floral, otherwise it's kind of pointless. And I think it looks really lovely. And then I just went through the ephemera pack. I've got a lot of it left. I just wanted to pick out some things that I thought would go with this layout. And I'm sorry, of course, when I start doing a voiceover, all the traffic drives past, the kids start screaming, etc, etc. So here is that chipboard sheet, and I also have the beautiful puffy stickers, which are more like a cross between enamel and puffy, so they're like hard puffy. And then I decided to rough up my edges. I've just got this little distresser from Close to My Heart, and I love with crepe paper that their products in particular look really good if you do distress them slightly. So I found that little piece of bookshelf. It's just a few books. It's not really the shelf, but you know what I mean. And I thought that looked lovely just tucked under there. I just really love the colours in this collection. I think they're just beautiful for girly things. Please excuse my head. I can see I need to dye my hair, so that's it's good to know, isn't it? A different perspective on life. So I decided that I wanted this heart to go over the top of my layers, and I've done this many times before, and I think it's a good way to add a bit of interest and I guess a little bit of dimension. So I love that little swatch. I think it said believe in the magic, and that's not really something that we would say, so I just wanted to cover it up. I don't think it makes it. No, I take it off. But I did want to use it, but couldn't really make it work. So that little enamel sticker says "so sweet" because she is. And then decided to add a heart and a star. I love the graphics in this collection. They're really, really awesome. And I love that the pops of black are in there too. So here I had to trim off where I didn't cut it too well with my X-Acto knife, so I just trimmed it with my scissors, but of course you don't see the behind part, so it doesn't matter what the bit that you cut out and leave behind looks like. Just added some twine, and then I wanted to use that little sweet little chipboard girl. There was also the doll in the ephemera pack, but I decided the little chipboard girl added a bit more dimension and was really, really sweet. Okay, so now we've had a bus go past. Wondering what can come next. A fire engine, maybe? Okay, so on to the sequins, which is the main part of this layout, and the cut file. So I love this little pack that I've selected. I think it works really well with the colours in the collection, and I wanted this to look really whimsical, and so what I've done is just lay out some of them. You are not going to have to watch me glue all of them, but I'm just using liquid glass, which is close to my heart's equivalent of glossy accents. And I think I've said this before, but it's quite hard to work with because it's very, very liquid. So when you put your sequins on there, you feel like they're not sticking because it doesn't grip them immediately. But when it dries, it's the best liquid adhesive for sequins that I've found. So here is a doily from my stash. And at this point, I didn't realise, but I had two layered together. Okay, so I was interrupted because, believe it or not, somebody came to the door. And that only happens when I'm doing a voiceover. Anyway, what I was saying is I discovered that I had two doilies joined together because they're quite sticky to each other. So all I did was just, off camera, pull off the top one because I didn't want the double layer because I think it would be too intense. So I quite like the softness that doilies add. And these are quite vibrant anyway, but I think I should say. The yellow doily goes really well with this collection. So before I got too far with adding sequins, I wanted to finish my embellishing because there was no point adding sequins where I was going to add embellishment. And my aim with the sequins was to put a sequin on every point of a star and also where the lines join together. So kind of in the middle portion of the stars. And I didn't overthink it too much. I just didn't want two of the same sequin to be next to each other. So the pack has enough variety in it that that's not going to happen if you're diligent. So I did think about putting that crown on her head, but I thought, no, it's a little bit too much, and I want to keep this quite sweet. And I thought that would be a little bit too kind of cartoony, if that makes sense. So I found some other elements on the chipboard sheet, a couple of hearts, 3 hearts actually, and that is how it looks with all of the sequins. I did that off camera, and I'm loving how it looks. Excuse me. Originally, like I said, I wanted to stitch, but because I was sick, I ran out of time. But you know, this looks perfectly fine, the white on white, and I think the sequins add to it, and so do the subtle splatters in the background. So I'm just adding my journaling about probably how I don't want her to grow up too fast. She's so sweet. Yeah. Saying that my pregnancy takes forever, but having a baby, it just goes in the blink of an eye once they're born. And so that's my final layout. I hope you enjoyed watching my process. I will be back again next week with I think it could be my final project. If there's only 4 Tuesdays in March, I'll have to have a look. But at the end is my discount code, and you can use that in the shop for 15% off. So I'll be back again next week. Take care.